Yeah, we're off up to Kirby Stephen Station, lovely station, to pick up this Triumph TR8 because the guy in question lives out in the wilderness somewhere, and so he's quite happy to take it down at the station for me to load up there. It'll be handy, there's a bit more room there. And the people at the station, I think they want me to maybe go on the footplate of an engine. But the main purpose is to pick up this TR8, which apparently is an interesting vehicle. Apparently it's a pre-production vehicle. I haven't seen it, so I'm hoping it's going to be half tidy. The only thing that worries me a little bit is that with TR8s, in my experience, they're not a lot of good normally. They're normally in pretty poor order or roughly used and not well kept, but you never know, this might be the exception.
On the edge of the Yorkshire Dales, John Forshaw is taking his beloved Triumph TR8 for one last spin.
John, I notice you haven't got a radio in the car.
No, it went to put about 10, 15 years ago, and I never bothered putting it back, basically because I just love that sound of the V8 engine, and it's far better than the stuff you get on the radio, so I've never replaced it.
John, there's one or two TR7s still about, but not many TR8s.
There weren't an awful lot made. There were about 2,600 made in left-hand drive for the US market, but in right-hand drive for the UK market, there were only ever 18 made. Well, this is a pre-production model. It was used by Triumph for testing purposes. It's not a TR7 V8. It was built at speed, and it was taken off a production line and converted to TR8 spec by Triumph.
How long have you had the car, John?
Well, we've owned it for 28 years. Well, now's the time to let someone else have a go with it, because the older you get, the more difficult it is to get in and out of. Plus the fact I've got quite a few other classic cars as well, and I need to downsize a bit.
John Forshaw is en route in his Triumph TR8 to meet Derek at Kirby Stephen East railway station.
What do you think Derek's going to make of it?
Oh, I don't know. I believe he's not a great fan of TR7s, but...
But this isn't a TR7?
Well, it's not, no, but who knows? We'll find out shortly.
Surely, but not shortly, as even though Derek's got a train to catch, he's running late.
Now then, John.
Hello there, Derek. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Fine, thank you. Yeah, sorry I'm a little bit late, but I'm not too bad, am I, really? I'm pretty good, considering it's me.
25 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is the beast, then, eh?
This is it, yeah. This is
it. I've been taking a lot of flack on the internet, you know, about that Detectorist one, which made stupid money, but because it was the boot lid was signed. I've never even seen a programme. But I know what the car was worth, but I've taken some stick on that.
It was built at Speak in '78, and it was taken off the line as a 7 and converted to 8 spec.
Is that how they done it?
They did it.
American bumpers?
American bumpers, yeah, American spec.
So all the trim is all original and everything?
It's all original, yep.
Yep. British Leyland light fittings?
Yep.
What do we make of British Leyland light fittings and clips then, Derek?
They fall out. I think they do.
They do indeed.
That's the evidence there. But I'll tell you what was nice. When I put my head in there, it smelt like a TR.
Yeah.
1980 British Leyland cars.
And not the easiest to get in.
Well, if you're an old fellow that's not very fit and don't bend very well, I suppose so. But I'm a young sort of guy, agile and the rest of it, so I had no trouble at all, did I?
So if I got you to do that shot again, you wouldn't have any problems, would you?
I'd rather not do that shot again, personally. But bit of glue, emulsion coming out again, I can see it.
It was actually like that when I bought it.
I bet it was, mate. Yeah, it was like that when it left the factory, I should think.
It probably was, yeah.
Here we go again, knocking BL, but they lay themselves open to it, don't they? Wide open.
British Leyland, the iconic but much ridiculed British car manufacturer. Created out of the merger between the Leyland Motor Corporation and British Motor Holdings. Blighted by financial struggles and strikes, BL became infamous for poor management and unreliability. But that didn't stop some great performance cars emerging, occasionally. From the space-age Rover SD1, which won Car of the Year in 1977, to the Triumph Stag, the BL years did produce some legends before it finally ceased operations in 1982.
I don't know what it is. There's some sort of charm about them, isn't there? You know, these were built and the components were so bad, you sort of just fall in love with them somehow, don't you? I don't know what it is. Listen to that beautiful V8. Sweet as anything. No misfire, nothing. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, well, they're all, like, when you alter the controls, they go, clunk, don't they, and things, and it's just a one-finger operation. 2 fingers and they'll fall out. They'll break. The beauty of a British Leyland car, as opposed to a Ford or a Vauxhall, is that you knew how bad it was going to be before you even picked the thing up.
And you just said that's part of the charm.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Part of it. You know, it's a bit of a guessing game. What's going to go wrong first? What's going to fall off first, isn't it? I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great.
Who needs a radio, Derek?
Yeah, you're dead right. Absolutely. Well, only thing I would have on, of course, is Leo Sayer. But other than that, no, you don't need a radio for anything else. You just need a CD playing Leo Sayer. That's it. That's all you need, nothing else, pal. John, are we just going to give it a very quick spin up the road, me and you?
Yeah, sure. No
Jump in then.
Yeah.
I'm in love again because I'm not a speed merchant anymore, but I just like big engines bumbling along, which is exactly what this V8 does.
Well, I'm pleased about that. I like it too. I'll be sorry to see it go, but time moves on.
Gorgeous, gorgeous car. Pleasantly surprised. Could live with that car. Never thought I'd hear myself say that I'm enamoured about a TR7 or TR8. I think it'll do extremely well. I'm going to give that a massive build-up, because A, it deserves it, and B, I want all those non-believers out there to realise that I am actually impartial. If a proper thing comes along, I appreciate it.
What's its value?
15 grand. But he wants 18 grand. We're going to give it a go, but I don't think it'll make it, personally. There we are. I'm going to have a ride on an engine.
Yep.
So I'll say thank you ever so much.
I'll see you when I've got my next one for sale.
Please do.
British Leyland. Like a lot of people, I have a love affair with British Leyland. Now, I like British Leyland cars. Never used to. Yeah, no one did they? I genuinely have a bit of a passion for them. I love little Allegros, Maxis, Ambassadors, Princesses, that type of stuff. I don't know what. I'd love a princess. You know, I'd love a princess.
What do you think is the best car that British Leyland ever made?
Best for me, TR7 convertible.
I like the old TR6 myself, and I thought that was a really good car.
The Rover SD1, that was very futuristic, that one. I know that the police used it, didn't they? It's still one of my favourite cars.
Well, I particularly like the TR7 because I thought it was a good effort. Because it was a different shape.
The Mini. Why? Because I've got one. Simple as that. Simple as that. Everybody wants a Mini until they actually own one, and then they wish they'd ever had one.
Morris Marina, MG.
No.
Morris Marina?
Not a Morris Marina. Not a Morris Marina, Colin. No, no. You need some street credibility.
MG VGT.
Very discerning. Yeah.
So the best car, in my opinion, that British Leyland ever produced was the Triumph Acclaim. And the reason I say that is because, of course, it wasn't the Triumph Acclaim. It was a Honda Accord with a different badge. So that was the best car they ever produced. Don't forget, it was in the days when British Leyland couldn't do really anything right, really. They were always on strike. Red Robbo and all that mob, you know.
British Leyland, what was the best thing they ever did?
Stop making cars. That was the best thing British Leyland ever did, because they ruined it.
Unlike his father, Dave doesn't need any convincing to fall in love with the Triumph.
I actually like the TR7, which is predominantly what it is, isn't it, really? I know you call them TR8, but I mean, that shape then, I like that. They are real quirky, aren't they? And obviously, I suppose there's a big argument to say if you're going to have one, i.e. that shape Triumph, you might as well have one with all the bells and whistles with a V8 in, aren't you? Because there's nothing like that V8. Yeah, not my colour of choice, really, but It don't matter, does it? I always say to people, you want a nice car first. If it happens to be a nice colour as well, then it's win-win, isn't it? Just everything's just... It's just like, ooh. Yeah, don't press it too hard. Yeah, don't touch that. It's just... yeah, it's just... It's all brittle.
Cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, and it hasn't got brittle with age. They just were just poor quality. Slam the door, I think it'll fall out. I've never been in a TR yet that didn't have one hanging out. I just love this era of life, really. Just this era of life, yeah. Yeah, arguably I was born 10 years too late. I love these and the Maxis. Maxis, Morris Towels, all that type of stuff. Vandenblars, Princesses, Ambassadors. Yeah, I mean, it's just one bad production after another, isn't it? It's just one disaster after another. It really is. How they managed to trundle along like they did for as long as they did, heaven knows. But great times, I suppose. Times like that we'll never ever witness again. Yeah, brilliant. But no, it's not a bad car at all. It's super solid, isn't it?
TR8 now. Special car, this. It's got massive history. Drives as it should. All breakage it's got to pay for, Mick. Go and pay for it now before you go home, will you, please? Thank you. And he dropped a mug. We've got plenty of mugs here. So anyway, there you go. It's a TR8, proper factory pre-production of TR8. History going to the States, history coming back, history being sold. Start low if you like. Where do you want to be? 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13. 13,500. 13,500, 14. 14,500. Who's that?
That's Tim.
Tim, now then, Tim, 14,500. £15,000. 15. 15,500. Kent's in. 16,000. 16. 16,500. 16,750. Oh, 17. 17. Tim's back in. Kent's the buyer. Tim in Kent. 17,000. Third and last time. 17,000. Hey, well done. That's Tim in Kent.
Tim and I have been together for over 30 years. And when I first met him, a mutual friend kind of said, oh, you do know he's into cars. I feel like that's an interest that's kind of developed into something slightly unhealthy, a bit of an obsession.
The nonsense and the chaos that I've created for myself has bubbled into this huge monster. It's an uncontrollable monster.
In Kent, Tim and Claire Clark's quirky car collection has welcomed the TR8 into its fold.
Where it all began is Dad's DBS. Got married in it, still got the Just Wed thing hanging off in there. And then last year, out of the blue, V8 Aston, known as the Growler, came around and still can't believe that that sat in that workshop. Poor old Range Rover, which is needing paint, that's sat out there. Next we've got the Vauxhall VX490, 5-speed, super rare.
I feel like there should be maybe a one-in, one-out policy, but that hasn't really translated into anything we do.
Yeah, and now we've got added chaos with the green Goblin over there. Claire's got a quite significant birthday coming up. She'll be 50, so I thought, well, sniffing around the auction, a few things I thought would be super practical. That didn't work out, so I thought, oh, great, this TR8, what a bit of kit that is. She loves quirky stuff. So I stuck my hand up and carried on sticking my hand up, and here we are. Happy birthday.
I'm feeling like it's possibly not just a gift for me, it's a gift for the two of us to share together. So we've owned the car for a few weeks. I've been out in it once.
She actually drove it very briefly last night for the first time, but because of having me sat next to her...
A very nervous passenger who spent a lot of time telling me to mind out things, which didn't help my nervousness.
Claire's school, she's head teacher there, it's about 2.5 miles, so not far. Unfortunately, it encompasses every speed hump known to man in the borough, where you'd probably better off with a Land Rover.
So that's literally the second time, is that right?
Yeah, this is literally the second time we're being in it. Oh, it smells of old car. Indicator stalk's really quite short compared to my car. I've been warned they're Bakelite, very delicate, so there'll be no angry driving. I think I'm going to have to be very chilled when I'm driving along in this car.
I said to Claire, treat the controls like it's made of fine china, because they're so brittle. Anyone who knows British Leyland stuff, and they were new, let alone 40 years after the event. But other than that, it's a pretty solid old thing.
I do feel like if I pull one of these off, I'm going to be divorced. really cool sounding.
How are you feeling?
Very nervous. You really do notice just how low down to the ground you are. It's just got so much power. This is definitely built for bigger roads around here.
Have you been over speed ramps in this?
No.
Speed bumps?
No, but there's always a first.
Here we go.
OK, good sign, good sign.
Is it growing on you now, do you think?
Very much so. It's been so many times I've been a passenger in one of Tim's cars, and you're sitting there and you're kind of like hearing the noise of the engine, and then you're feeling that power, and then actually having it under your own foot, it's quite cool.
How do you think Tim's going to be feeling at the moment?
He's going to be extremely worried. He's the worst backseat driver, even.
Well, there isn't any backseats.
No, this is true. There's no backseat, so you can't be a backseat driver. I do feel like this is the kind of car I could literally go out and just drive in. And I'm not a just driving kind of person. Definitely a driver's car. Maybe I need a, you know, flat cap, pipe, driver's gloves. Awesome. I'm loving it. I need bigger roads to go faster on. I feel like some kind of like 1960s female racing driver driving along. It's really good fun to drive. Thank you for my birthday present.
You're welcome, kid. Well, I'm chuffed. It's one of those sink or swim type of thing, and she's coming back with a smile on her face. So winner, winner, chicken dinner, lovely.